Hi, my name is Yanni. I'm a member of the church in Ocean Park. I'm here to welcome you to this unique interfaith community that is dedicated to social justice. You may be wondering if you are welcome here. We are interfaith, so you're welcome if you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, Catholic, Buddhist, Christian, atheist, or some combination, or something else altogether. We extend a special invitation to those who are single, married, divorced, gay, trans, extremely rich, or who's just could use some more money. We extend a special invitation to those who are newborn babies, just browsing, just woke up, or just got out of jail. We don't care if you're extremely religious or haven't been to church in a long time. We extend a special invitation to those who are over 80 but not grown up yet, to the middle schoolers, high schoolers, community college, and university, vocal, vocational folks. We invite soccer moms, tree huggers, latte sippers, vegetarians, junk food eaters, cereal lovers, teachers, readers, and thinkers. We invite those who are in recovery or still addicted. We invite you if you're having problems or you're down. We welcome those who like organized religion and those who don't. We offer a special invitation to those who work too hard, don't work, can't spell, or because they're bored of staying home all day and they heard that it's a strange church. We invite those who are inked, pierced, or both. We offered a special invitation to those who could use prayer right now. We invite tourists, seekers, doubters, and you. Welcome to the Church of Ocean Park.
Hi, I'm Reverend Janet Gallery McKithen, and I'm the minister here at the church in Ocean Park, and I welcome you also. This is a place that is multi-religious and multi-beliefs. People with different belief systems come, so sometimes you may hear something that you disagree with, and know that your voice is just as important as whoever it was that just spoke, even if this is your first time in here, or if you've been in here for many times. There will be a time for sharing later on, and if you just walked in the door, this is your first time, you can still participate in any of the parts of this service because your voice is just as important, and we want to hear you as well. We take a moment for a land acknowledgement because we in Santa Monica are sitting on stolen land of the Chish, the Chumash, and the Tongva Indian native peoples. It was stolen violently from them, and we ripped their lives apart and forever destroyed some of their cultures. And so they are still here among us, but we do want to recognize that we benefit from the fact that land was stolen and we are here. We also benefit from the fact that there was that people from Africa were stolen and placed into bondage and then forced into labor in our communities and in our country to build what we now live on and live among. And so we recognize that benefit has not been repaid, and we work to repay that. We work to rectify all of those situations. Let's take a moment and just recognize where we sit and the benefits we have. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park. And we'd always begin with a Thich Nhat Hanh chant so that we can center ourselves, because all of us have been running around. I mean, some of us more than others, but we've all been running around. So in order to get the most from the service that we can today, we always try to take a deep breath and realize what an amazing place we're in and what a great group of people that we're with. So let's just take a moment and be here now. And so we chant the chant of Thich Nhat Hanh. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now, 3 times. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here Welcome to the church in Ocean Park. And we are in the midst of 2 seasons, at least, probably more, but we are going to honor 2 seasons this morning. We are right smack in the middle of Hanukkah, and we are also pretty close to the middle of Advent. And so every Sunday we do light an Advent candle, which we will be doing today, but we are celebrating Hanukkah as well. So the Leslie family is going to come up and light our Advent candles. Come on up.
Because of war, because of violence in our communities, because there is still so much unrest in our hearts, we light a candle of peace. Because hatred is still so strong, because so many swords have not yet been remade into plowshares, we light a candle of peace. May the light from this candle overwhelm the world. May the light from this candle say to all that God's peace is coming. We have not given up. Peace is coming. Friends, be not afraid with God's guidance and our intentional action. Peace is coming in our hearts and in the world. Can you say peace is coming?
No.
I'm very excited this morning because our friend Rabbi Diane is back. Yes, she never really left. We left. We all left together. And Diane Offenberg Rose is a cantor and rabbi serving the Los Angeles region. She was a music teacher and choral conductor before becoming clergy. Her hope is to lead others and herself toward more beautiful, peaceful, passionate, content lives by looking at the world and ourselves through a progressive Jewish text, traditions, and culture, and can open our eyes to the many universal lessons that can help us all find ourselves Jewish or not. Her teachings focus on the universal lessons that Judaism has to offer without requirements, rules, or guilt. God is optional. She believes that interfaith families need to be fully embraced and all family members must be honored equally. Ranter Diane was ordained as a cantor through the American Seminary for Contemporary Judaism and as a rabbi through Jewish Spiritual Leaders Institute. Diane is finishing a Master's of Jewish Studies with a focus on music and Jewish life. She is also going through the process to formally become a rabbi within the Jewish humanistic movement. Please welcome back Rabbi Diane.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to be here. I'm really grateful that the place is back and that I can come back. It's just so nice to be in this space. And I used to come, I don't know, kind of frequently back before the pandemic began. I have a group that's rehearsing Monday nights now here. So this has even become a home for me once a week. We all sit in a circle over there next to the piano. And it's a women's group that we just began. And I've had such a long relationship now with Janet and with Church in Ocean Park. And I was even in an Eagles jersey I saw up there, and I'm a Philly girl, so that made me feel even more at home. Yep, woohoo, the Philly Connect. I'll just start by saying that for myself this year, as Hanukkah came around, we'll get into the fun part in a minute. But as Hanukkah came around for me, it was really challenging. I mean, it's a military victory holiday, and in many ways just doesn't feel appropriate right now. But the calendar is what the calendar is. And there is the war side, and there's also the bringing the light into the darkness side. So we're going to lean towards the light in the darkness side to try to emphasize that aspect, which is really how most people think of Hanukkah. They don't really even necessarily think about the story so much. So let's go into the story. I'm going to tell you the Sunday school version, not the historical archaeological version, the Sunday school version. And it goes like this. And then we're going to play a little game of true and false. A long time ago, in 168 BCE to be exact, King Antiochus IV ruled over ancient Israel. Not being a fan of variety, he demanded that if you did not pray to the Greek gods and share in his same culture, you would be in trouble. The people would play the game of dreidel and teach the rules to the army to distract them from raiding Jewish homes. Or they would hide the fact that they were studying Jewish texts together with the game and say they were only gathered to play. Now, all of these rules were a problem for the Jews who still wanted to, of course, partake in Jewish traditions like studying Torah or celebrating Shabbat. And this made some of the Jewish people so angry that they decided to disobey the king. Priest Mattathias and his sons were joined by other Jews to fight back against King Antiochus IV. One son, Judah, aka Judah the Maccabee, stepped into the spotlight, leading all of his fellow leaders, the Maccabees, in an attempt to save their Jewish heritage. Even as the king's soldiers rode in on elephants to attack, the Maccabees stayed strong and drove them right out of Jerusalem. Upon their victory, the Maccabees cleaned up the temple and tried to light the temple menorah, an oil-burning lamp. And as the story goes, they only had enough oil to burn for one day, but miraculously, the oil lasted for 8 days and 8 nights, and that's why we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days and nights, lighting another candle in the menorah each night to remember this miracle and the triumph of the Jews. Are you ready for true and false? I think you're going to get the hang of this quickly. True or false? Number 1, Hanukkah is an important Jewish holiday. Thank you. You guys are good. No, Hanukkah is a very minor holiday. It's only made famous by its proximity to the you-know-what holiday. And in fact, the book of Maccabees, the basis for the holiday, didn't even make it into the Hebrew Bible. What Bible is it in? The Christian Bible. No, nowhere near the Torah, not even close. So, and there's more on that later. But for other holidays, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, Passover, Sukkot, that's all in the Hebrew Bible, at least with what in ancient times had instructions on what we were supposed to do. Even Shavuot, and nobody knows what to do on Shavuot other than eat cheesecake. I mean, really, but that's in there. But no Hanukkah, didn't make it. Okay, number 2. The miracle of Hanukkah is that the oil should have lasted only 1 night, but it lasted 8 nights. False. There is no oil in the story of Maccabees at all. There's no oil, there's no God. It's a war, and they won, and they celebrated. And so the oil showed up later in the Talmud. And why? Because a military victory isn't a religious holiday. They needed some God in there. So God did a miracle and made the oil last. But in the actual story, I hate to tell you this, there's no oil. Okay, number 3. I think you guys know where this is going, right? The reason Hanukkah lasts 8 nights is because of the now debunked oil story of it lasting 8 nights. False. So when the Maccabees reclaimed their temple, they modeled their celebration after Sukkot. In fact, it may have been a delayed fall season Sukkot holiday, which lasts 8 days. And some say maybe that's just how long their celebration lasted. But probably it was modeled after Sukkot, and that's why we have the 8 days. Okay, I don't even have to ask the question. You know what the answer is going to be, right? Here's your last question. We play dreidel because during the oppression of the Syrian king Antiochus, Jews would gather and study Torah together and use it like as a ploy to explain why they were together. Is that where the dreidel came from? You know the answer. It's got to be false. You saw the title today was Lies and Lights. This is the lies portion. So the dreidel has its origins in England and Ireland and later in Germany and was probably a Christmas game. So after all of that, it's a Christmas toy, the dreidel. And the 4 Hebrew letters on there originally were from German letters that literally meant take one, put one in, half, you know, the rules of the dreidel game. So there you are. There are 4 untruths. Now we're going to go towards the light, right? We have lies and light. Lies are over. Let's go towards the light. So in the Jewish community, people make a big fuss sometimes about Jews who celebrate Christmas, you know, in the sense that they give presents and maybe they put lights on their house and have a tree. And in some Jewish circles, of course, that's considered like a big no-no, that you're not supposed to do anything with Christmas if you're Jewish. For me, when people have asked me, I always say anything that puts light in the world and helps you feel family and warmth and good food. What's more Jewish than that? So do it. If that's what it does for you, you should absolutely do it. But what people don't usually talk about is I think that those who aren't Jewish should start celebrating Hanukkah. And so I'm going to give you the reasons why you should pick up a menorah, or if not, just grab some candles. Jan and I were talking about that in some Eastern European countries, they would make them out of a potato. If you have a potato, and I'll give you some candles, you just pop it in there, you have a menorah. You don't even have to go shopping for anything. So let's talk about all the reasons why I think that maybe non-Jews should consider Hanukkah. And in my notes here, I say, non-Jews never want to celebrate Jewish holidays. What 8-year-old goes to their mom and goes, how come we don't have Yom Kippur? Like nobody, right? Maybe Passover, maybe, but even then, I don't know. Okay, so here are the top 3. It's kind of 3.5 reasons why you should all tonight go home and light 4 candles for Hanukkah. Number 1, as I mentioned, it is not a religious holiday. It's the celebration of a successful revolution. And if you, so it's not about religion at all. You don't have to worry about that at all. And one could say that Hanukkah's themes are away from the military aspect, standing up for what you believe in. That's for everybody. Not letting anyone tell you who you are or who you need to be. That's universal and for everyone. Fighting for what you believe in, even when you're a minority group and you feel this is the right thing to fight for. Again, that's not a Jewish thing. And so what does all this tell you? If you light a Chanukiah, which is actually what this is called, a Hanukkah menorah is called a Chanukiah, or some version of a candle in honor of Hanukkah, you're not doing anything religious. You're reminding yourself and the world that it's worth it to stand up for what you believe in, even when you think that maybe you won't win and that the fight is worth it. We'll just maybe fight in a different way than in the actual story. And just on a side note, maybe these candles can be the candles for peace for us right now, with each night wishing another way to bring light into all parts of the world and bring peace. And believe me, plenty of us who are Jewish and lighting these candles are not happy about what's happening in the world right now. And so we're not celebrating that aspect of this holiday. Okay, number 2, another reason to celebrate Hanukkah is because it's a very slow holiday. It actually has nothing to do with presents. That's just because of Christmas. If anything, it was little tiny bits of coins, of gelt, of food, chocolate. It's not supposed to be a present holiday. And so you don't have to buy anything to celebrate Hanukkah. And whatever you do, it's one little thing per night. So there's no thought of like on a birthday where you start tearing through everything that the kids get. It's one little thing. And then they have to wait. When my kids were little, there'd be the pile. You can't have them all now. It's going to take days. It was great because they had to sit with and enjoy each thing as it happened. And of course, the gifts that you give don't have to be actual presents and they don't have to be to each other. It can be 8 days and nights of giving tzedakah, of giving charity, of money, or just of your time to bring more light into the world. After all, this is our shamash, right? This is the helper candle, and it's always a little bit higher up on the Hanukkah menorah. And so the idea is this guy who feels tall and strong is helping the others who are a little less tall and strong, maybe, to find their light. And so that's what each night can be of what should we do tonight? What can we give a little money to? What can we give a little time to? What letter can we write? What can we do today? Oops, I'm going to have to put some fire under that one to make it stick again. Or if you have little kids and you want to buy them something cool and make them happy so they don't feel like they don't get to have the you-know-what holiday. Aside, this sort of 2.5, the dreidel story, true or not, was about using your mind to get out of a situation you were in. How to trick the person who was coming for you, how to delay, how to give the people inside a little bit of time. This story that they would stop them and they'd say, what are you doing? You'd go, oh, well, a long explanation of the game and all of the rules so that they would be delayed and the people inside could have some time to get out or prepare for what was coming. And so in that way, it's about creative thinking to get out of the situations that we're in. It's using your mind instead of your might to figure out how to solve your problems and the problems of the world. And last, this is the big one, as I kind of already covered. Hanukkah is about bringing light into the world. And so tradition says that we should play our Chanukiot in front of our houses or in the windows of our homes so that it's a public celebration, so that the light is easy to see. This is, of course, part about being Jewish publicly and not being afraid to show that you're Jewish. And this year I saw an article, should Jews put their Chanukiot in the window? Are they asking for trouble if you put it in the window? And what a sad state of affairs that we are in, that we have to consider whether or not to pull it inside. Most of us are not. We're keeping it in the window. But if you think about it, it's sort of like the old Motel 6 advertisement. I think it was, we're going to keep the light on for you, right? If we all have candles in our windows in a way you're lighting the path, you're making sure that as someone goes down the road, they're not in darkness, that there's light to lead them. So if you light a candle in honor of Hanukkah, that's partly what you're doing. You're putting some light out into the darkness so that those who are in darkness can find a way to see. So there you have it. Those are 3.5 good reasons why you should all get a potato, and I can give you some candles, and at least light 1 or light 2 in honor of Hanukkah. So we're going to light them, and I brought some. I don't think I have enough for sure, so you might have to share. I brought a little how-to that you could pass around and take or photograph and have in your phone if I don't have enough copies, which I definitely don't, of how to light a Hanukkah menorah. There are rules to it. I'm a rule breaker, so enjoy breaking those rules. You definitely don't have to follow them. So the way that it's done is you have your helper candle every night, and that you load them in. Oh, wait, I'm backwards. It's as if I'm looking at them this way. If you're standing in front of it, you go from right to left, you add more light each night that way. And then the tradition is to light them actually this way. Why? Because 2 rabbis argued and couldn't decide. Are we increasing light? Are we decreasing light? Does it go with the Hebrew language? Does it not? And so literally it was fine. We'll put them in your way and we'll light them the other way. That's why it exists. If you want to be a stickler, you're supposed to light your shamash, then say all of the blessings, and then do the actual lighting. Do it the way you like. I always sing while I light them because that feels good than standing here and singing and then lighting them. You do you when you light your Chanukiah. Is there anything last? Oh, so on here, you're going to see a whole bunch of blessings, and let me tell you why. I gave you the traditional one, which is like, blessed are you, God, ruler of the universe, who commands us to light the lights of Hanukkah. I gave you an interfaith English one, which is really appropriate when you don't want to claim something necessarily as your own, but you want to partake and be part of it. And then I gave you what I've been using a lot, which is a humanistic Hebrew version, in which we take the structures and the traditions of Judaism, but we take God out of it. And that way you can insert the idea of God if you want to, but it's not something you have to say. I'm kind of digging that these days. So if you do it the other way, it's fine. No one's going to care. So you want to take the shamash, right? Take that one. Take the tall one. Do you want to do it as well? She's like, no. So here you go. We're going to light them each first. And then maybe with each candle, oh, actually, I will be able to hold this. Thank you so much. Yep. So tell you what, we're going to do different prayers for each candle. So let's light one candle. And with that, we'll sing the traditional one. And so you'll start way over here. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. With the second one, let's do an English interfaith translation that anyone could say. Blessed is this opportunity to bring our inner light into the world by lighting these Hanukkah candles. Beautiful. And for our third one, we're going to do a humanistic one. It's the old melody, but new words. Baruch ha'or ba'olam, Baruch ha'or ba'adam, Baruch ha'or shel Chanukah, Baruch ha'or shel Chanukah, which means blessed is the light within the universe, blessed is the light within humanity, and blessed is the light of Hanukkah. And our last one is the second blessing, traditional blessing that we say, which is for the miracle that happened so long ago. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu, Bayamim ha'el b'hazman hazeh. Well done, everyone. And when I light the candles, I always love to sing a version of Hanerot Halalu, actually made famous by Mare Winningham. Do you remember her, the actress? It goes like this. Hanerot, Hanerot, Hanerot halalu, Hanerot, Hanerot, Hanerot halalu. Anu madlikin, Anu madlikin, Hanerot halalu, anu madlikin. Chanukah, Chanukah, by this light remember. Chanukah, Chanukah, by this light remember. When we lived in peace, when we lived in peace, by this light remember, when we lived in peace.
Beautiful. Thank you. Let's give her another hand. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Couldn't be a better celebration of Hanukkah in my mind than this one this morning. Thank you so much. And now we have a moment for community sharing, which is you are able to say a few words or you can ask Diane a question. And when you do, please say your name first, because even though you might think we all know you, it's good to just repeat your name. And I see Jerry.
Well, my name is Jerry Rubin. Thank you. I'm from Philadelphia too, and was born on Hanukkah 80 years ago. So this is special. A little humorous thing. I saw something on social media that said, if you really want to understand Hanukkah and the story of how the light lasted 8 days, just imagine your cell phone on 10%. But it goes for 8 days. You know? Anyhow, I want to thank you all, and it's great.
Yes, my name is Daria. Thank you, Rabbi, for such a wonderful, wonderful presentation of what Hanukkah can mean. As I was listening to you, I couldn't help but think of what scholar, his last name is Scott, And he created, well, he talks about what's called a hidden transcript, which is where communities who are basically the non-dominant community within society create hidden ways to not only like unify within their group, but to also show resistance to the dominant group. And it was an interesting thing to think about. Could this be another form of a hidden transcript? Because we see it in the Book of Lamentations, and we see it, of course, within the Black community. So thank you. That was really special.
Rabbi Diane, thank you for being here. I'm Lauren. This is the Leslie family. Decker, Micah, Michael. I grew up in the like Jewish suburbs of Chicago, so raised Catholic, but in a grade school class of 180, there was 4 of us who weren't Jewish. So it was the dominant religion for my growing up. And I am shocked that I had no concept that Hanukkah, you know, wasn't like a very Jewish celebration. And I'm also a little dumbfounded at myself for thinking that I feel good when people put up a Christmas tree, like that's supportive of something that I care about in my family. But I always felt that doing a menorah in our home wouldn't be welcomed or would seem like we were making light of something that was so important. So I'm so grateful today that you shared that story and that our family can celebrate this in our house, because we would like to do that and put it in our window at this time.
Wonderful. Hi, my name is Ayana. Thank you again. Yeah, that was a great message. Thank you so much. And much like what Lauren said, you know, I always grew up with the Christmas tree, which does special for me. But I have also had the menorah in my house because I just thought it was just beautiful. And I just think there's something about it that brings peace. So thank you for that story, because I didn't know, I feel like there's like a revolutionary side to this that I didn't know about Hanukkah, you know, and you know, I grew up obviously hearing the dreidel song, like I even know it. And so it's just interesting to find out the story. I feel like, yeah, I kind of, there was a, I don't say a deception, but what I am finding out from what you shared is like, it's really cool. You know, it's a different perspective that I just so surprised. So anyhow, now when we have our menorah up this year, I will think about it now in this light. So I knew for a reason, it was there for a reason that I didn't understand, but it brought peace just like the tree. So
Right.
thank you. I look forward to learning more about that.
Good morning. My name's Audrey, and I enjoyed your story, but really, I just wish you'd come and sing more. That was so beautiful.
That's nice of you.
Anybody else? Yes.
Oh, I have to turn around. Hello.
Hi, my name is Sumaya, and I'm really grateful to Froggy for bringing me here. And I have just thoroughly enjoyed this. The child that spoke up here, it just spoke to my heart. And so I'm just so grateful for that and for you and to be amongst all of you. Thank you very much.
Glad you walked in. Good. Thank you, Froggy. Anybody else? All right. Well, we'll have a moment of silence, and then we'll have a song, and this time will be from Kim and Reggie.
Our song has words from Mahmoud Darwish, who was a Palestinian poet. And these words were set to music by Linda Hirschhorn, who is a wonderful cantor and song leader in the Jewish community. I have a million nightingales on the branches of my heart singing freedom. I have a million nightingales on the branches of my heart, and nightingales on the branches of my heart, singing freedom, 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 singing freedom,
Thank you so much. Reggie, we're so happy to have you back. We're so happy that you're feeling well. We were all praying and lifting you up this whole time, and we're grateful to see you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for all the prayers and thoughts and well wishes. I'm happy to be with you again.
Thank you. Chaplain Joseph?
Yes, Reggie, you certainly added a lot of light to our worship today, to our gathering today. And I am just here to encourage you to keep the lights on.